enjoy it, the fresh air. There's a lot to see and to do. We were just talking about how it's a safe place. This feels like a safe place.
This is great. Yeah, thank you.
No worries. Happy to help.
So, I guess a big question is like, because we do animation, and we have found a reason to us why animation is probably an important thing. At least we've convinced ourselves that it is. And so I guess the question, a big question for you would be, why do you think the botanical garden is actually an important thing at all? Why is it necessary to have one?
That's quite a big question.
It's quite a big question.
Yeah.
I think it's an important one.
I think it's a really important one. I think the Botanic Garden, I don't know how much you know about the botanics, but it's not just a public garden. It's a science institute, and it's an education centre, and it's a horticulture area of horticultural excellence. So we're many things as well as being a visitor attraction, which I think is what most people see us as. But I think particularly all of the work that happens here is really important for all of our futures, basically, because the mission of the Botanic Garden is to explore and explain and conserve the world of plants for a better future. And it's basically all about researching plants, educating people about plants, and helping people understand why we need them. And I think they're absolutely, obviously plants are crucial to all of our well-being. Everybody relies on them, whether they know it or not. We need them for the air we breathe, we need them for the environment we live in, we need them for food.
Are folks doing enough about it in Edinburgh, at least? You're like the States now. Actually, we've had the election, and it's kind of, I think the Kepler released quite an interesting documentary on sort of global warming, and you see that there is this consciousness amongst people. In terms of Edinburgh, do you think people are starting to see that?
In terms of Edinburgh, I think in terms of the planet, no, we're not doing enough. Absolutely not enough, and probably not in Edinburgh either. I don't think any of us does enough, really. But in Edinburgh, having said that, there's a big community gardening movement, which is not just about plants, but it's very much about people as well, and about social networks and about community action. And there's a really strong community gardening sort of network in Edinburgh. I don't know if you've come across community gardens much, but they're all over the city. They're often in funny little sort of patches of ground that nobody else wants or looks after, but they're all looked after by volunteers.
And you feel privileged every time you come into the
Usually
garden.
we have to, in this bit of the garden, we have to stop quite often because the other nice thing about it is that you get lots of people from all over the world visiting. And it's quite interesting talking to people from different parts of the world. They're really interested in what you can grow and how it compares with what they can grow. And some of them have never seen, we had a child from Dubai who'd never seen a strawberry plant and was really interested to see the strawberry on the plant and work out what it looked like. So you get things like this, quite fun to engage with people that way as well.
You deal so much with them.
Yeah, I've got lots of favourite plants. I guess it depends. My favourite plant to grow, probably my favourite vegetable to grow would be probably chilies. I like growing chilies because you can grow them inside. You don't need a garden to grow chilies, which is quite nice because lots of people don't have a garden. My favourite plant, I don't know, there's all sorts of good stuff out there. Nothing like a big old like oak tree or something like that. Or something a bit more tropical. I don't know. Too many to pick from.
If you had to be a plant, which one would you be?
I guess something like a yew tree that's very long lived. I was talking earlier about sort of the broader botanic garden, but the project I manage is the Edible Gardening Project, and that's what the guys out there volunteer on. and that's all about teaching people horticultural skills. They need to grow their own food, but also more than that, it's about bringing in an audience that might not ordinarily come to the botanics. So we work with the public, but we also have community groups that come in and visit. So we target groups that might not ordinarily come. Our sort of visitor profile is seen as very much older, middle class, white people, but we kind of try and reach out to other groups of perhaps young people or ethnic minorities or whatever. And the idea is very much about giving people an experience, as you say, that they might not have because of living in the city and not having a garden. So that's quite, in terms of things like nature deficit disorder with children, I don't know if you've come across that phrase before. So it's a sort of theory that children aren't experiencing enough of the outdoors because they're always inside on their computers, and being outside is good for your mental health. It helps young people with their behaviour and their learning, and there's a sort of fear that children aren't getting that experience. So somewhere like this, as you say, is very important because it's a safe, free, green space that they can come and enjoy.
Yeah, talking about